Now we have like the first new rule and we don't know how it works, right? Here you need to put an A and there are like these creatures here. So what do these creatures tell us? We don't know yet. Hey everyone, this is Thecos, and I've decided to show off 2 games by Blas Obergrasser on my channel. That name may ring a bell because I've already shown off Honest Bomb by him on my channel, which is like a really, really cool 18-card solo game. And he also has like quite a few like puzzle games, puzzle books, things like that. LOK, Lock, and Abdec, ABDEC, 2 games that I wanted to show off on the channel. And today I would like to show Abdec to you. This is just like all games by Blas Obergrasser by Letterbus Design, and I'm very excited to show that to you. But before we get started, as usual, grab yourself a cup of tea and let's do this. Yeah, there we go. Just the perfect drinking temperature. So what is this? Well, this is a little puzzle book, which is like the writing system of the ABB creature, so to speak. This is like you have to like fill in shapes in the book in order to like solve the puzzles. I will not explain beforehand how this works because there's actually like a built-in tutorial and you have to kind of learn the game without being taught the rules directly. This kind of like functions like a video game tutorial where like the main mechanisms are like shown to you and you then apply them to different circumstances. Pretty cool. So first, when you open this book, you see there is like this sheet here. Lock also has the same one. I think this is like in all the Letterbus games here. This sheet allows you to take a non-permanent marker and then just mark on that, like if you have like a puzzle here, right? You can just put that there, mark it on there. Oh, there you see my camera. Mark it on here, and then you can just erase it again. So you can use it over and over, right? And that's also what I did in order to like kind of like learn how the game functions. Today I will do it differently. Today I will just use a pen, usually my favorite one, but I will use a thicker one today. We'll show you how that works because it's a little bit more physical. Usually you would take that sheet or you would just take a pencil with an eraser. Okay. So this is also like a reissue of like an older game. So they like made that new. And you see like there are like more books by them. Like the only things that I know at the moment are Honest Bomb, Lock, and Abdec. Also, I am planning on looking into the other textbooks. And there's like a new game that was just released, Hurried. Also a game that I would like to show off on the channel quite soon. I might actually do that. Okay, so let's just see here. I think this has like 44 puzzles, it said. Okay, so it says like here. To solve the following exercises, you must figure out all of the rules by yourself. So rules are consistent between exercises and letters, right? Every exercise has a unique solution. Uniqueness of solutions is a way to determine if you have the correct rule set. It is advised to sometimes look at multiple exercises in a row, especially when you encounter something new. At the end of the book, you can find hints, explained rules, and solutions. They did the same thing in Lock, where like they didn't like teach you like all of the rules. You have to figure them out by yourself. And also at the end of the book, you find like the rules, solutions, and also hints, which is pretty interesting. So here we see like that's all we learn at the moment. We learn A and B, these shapes here, right? For the alphabet, and C and D we don't know yet, right? There's a missing part of the page because the page has been burned, unfortunately. Okay, all right. So about the ABB, they're like these ABB creatures, right? But even here we don't have the entire lore because some part of the page is missing. The existence of the ABB creatures has been discovered in 1989 when an abandoned settlement of theirs was found under a small rock in Slovenia. An elusive and mysterious species, only 3 more ABB towns have been discovered since. All empty, but with a great wealth of their scriptures left behind. And something with 9 years here, we're not able to read that. I don't know. So, puzzle number 1 for the tutorial here. So as I said, usually you would either use that sheet, right? The sheet for the dry erase marker here, or you would use a pencil. Just so that it looks nicer on camera. What I will do today is do that with a pen, so you can see it better, right? But when I continue like trying to solve these puzzles after this video, I will most likely use a pencil or the overlay, right? Okay, so place all assigned shapes into the grid. As we know, the A is that one here. So what that already teaches us in that tutorial is that we can rotate this, right? See, we have to rotate it in order to put it in here. So let's fill in that shape. And we have solved the first puzzle, which is just the tutorial. All right, then we continue here to the next page. All right, 2B, right? If you remember, B was like that line of 3. The only place that can fit is right here down the middle. So let's just fill that in. And puzzle solved. Okay, so now you see, now we need to fill in 1A and 1B. The only place a B can fit is here, because there are no other 3s in a row, so to speak, right? That like have room for that B, so we will just do it like this. And the A, right? Remember, like the little corner shape here can only fit in here, right? So we will fit that in here, like this. And that would be the third puzzle done. All right, so now we see there is like a circle here in the back. I have like done the first few puzzles to kind of understand how this game works, but I have not understood yet what that circle does. And that's like an interesting thing, because like there are like things that you can already like see, but you don't know quite yet what they mean, right? They will hopefully be explained a little bit later or make sense later. All right, here A, B, B. So let's see. Let's start with the B's first, because these are always most difficult to put in. So we could put a B here and a B there, but then we would have no rooms for the A's, right? B here and B here also wouldn't work, because we only would have room for one A. But if you put a B here and a B on top, oops, then we have room. So let's start with the first B, right? This one. Put that one right in here. Then the second B we will put here on top, where I already drew a line by accident. And then the first A we will put in here. And remember, we can rotate them so the other A will fit in here. And this time the entire grid is filled. What do we learn here? We learn here that somehow there can be a circle, whatever that does. Maybe that circle is just to like shade like the parts that we cannot draw in, right? Because here we cannot put anything in there, right? That's like an empty cell. All right. Number 5 here, B, 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 B. All right. Now we just need to see like where we can like find these, do these. So, and now it actually does make sense to take like that sheet, right? So we can kind of like try a few things. So we could like see, okay, we need to put in 5 B's. It probably would make sense to make like 1 down here, right? That would make sense. So maybe 1B would be here, 1B there, 2, that would be 3, 4, and 5. You see, there we already go. So I already got all of them, right? That was a little bit lucky. You also could have like started up here and then it wouldn't have worked, right? But that one actually does work. So let's just put it in here like that. So we have B number 1. Then we do B number 2 right here. Then we do B number 3 right here. B number 4 right here. And B number 5 we will just put in here. There we go. Number 5 is solved. And one thing that is like really like, I like this in this entire style here, because you see like at the bottom you have like these shadings here, as if somebody would have drawn with pencil there, and there's even like something that looks like a stain. So it kind of looks like it's like dirty, right? But just as like all of these pages have like something like that. So it's like kind of funny. All right. 6. So now we have like the first new rule, and we don't know how it works, right? Here you need to put an A, and there are like these creatures here. So what do these creatures tell us? We don't know yet, right? That's something we have to figure out. So here it makes sense to like do it with like a pencil first, right? And then when you like grasp the rule, or you take a look at like several puzzles after one another, and then like understand, okay, that's probably how it works, then you can apply that with like a real pen. If you want to, you can just leave it as pencil, right? I'm just using the pen here for this video. Here, like these should say like one of two things. Either don't draw anything in there, but we already had that rule. That's what these ones here were the ones we shouldn't draw anything in there. So maybe these mean we have to draw in here, and that would make sense. Why would it make sense? Well, because A is exactly the shape of these guys here, right? That's like how this game is trying to like teach you rules without naming the rules. So A, we will just put that here above like these little creatures. Okay. Then 7. Not above, I mean on top of these creatures. That was like a linguistic faux pas on my side. Okay, so here B, we could put 3 in a row here and there, right? But we just learned that we need to cover this guy. right? So the only B that lets us cover this guy is this B here. And then we have room for the other B up here, like this. Another puzzle solved. And here now we have more complex puzzles, right? Because these become complex now. So here is now an X and there's an A. We have no idea what that means, right? Hope you can see it on camera. X and A here, I have no idea what that means. I don't know yet. I think these will return later on. They probably will return at some point. Oh, there are like more stains here. I can't see them now, but they might return later on. But at the moment, I don't know what these mean. But here, A, B. So now we have to like try to put like the A's and the B in here, that they fit, right? If we put the B in here, then we can't do anything with that guy anymore, right? So here we need to put an A. We have no choice but to put an A here. So let's do that, right? Like this. And then we could put an A here, but then a B would only fit here and we couldn't put the third A in anymore, right? So this also needs to be a B actually, right? Otherwise it won't work. So yeah, let's put here a B in, like this. And then we have two A's. Let's put the first one down here. Since we can rotate everything, that is pretty simple. And we have the other one right here. Yeah, and that's like how the game works. Like you see, like there are like new things introduced. If we go a little bit later, you see like we also have like C's and we have D's here, right? We're like going forward in the alphabet. Also, then we have like probably combinations of things, like we have to put something where we can't put something. There are suddenly like letters now on the grid itself, right? We don't quite know what that is, right? Because here are only C's, but there are like A's on the grid. So we will have to like learn all of these rules later on, what these actually do, right? So yeah, that is just a little taste of how Abdec ABDEC works. I'm not even sure whether or not I did like the last few puzzles correctly, right? I will see so when I continue. I haven't finished this puzzle yet, this book yet. I've just like started going into it. Same thing also for luck. I've only like started going into the books and I like them so much that I said, you know what, I'm going to show these off on the channel. I will put a link to where you can get these books in the description of this video, so you can get one yourself if you want to. I'm not sure if you can even print them. I think you might even be able to like get a print and play of that, but I'm not 100% sure. Don't take this with a grain of salt. All right, well, and that concludes my showcase of Abdec by Blas Urban Grassar, published under Letterpiece Design. Thank you so much for watching and staying to the very end. I hope you enjoyed this video. As usual, I would like to thank you all for your support, especially when I give a shout out to my generous patrons. The biggest thanks go to Thecos for supporting me at the highest tier. Thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate that. You can also support me by watching, liking, commenting on my videos, subscribing to my channel, supporting me on Patreon, and join my Discord server to hang out with me and my amazing community. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the very next video on my Discord server. Take care everyone, stay safe, and cheers.